How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are doing well, and Merry Christmas. This episode of Nate the Great YouTube channel is going to be a pretty interesting one. I'm just going to be talking about my experience with Operation Christmas Child down in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was actually a lot of fun, and I went with my parents through my church, and it was about 20 of us from the church going down and packing boxes for children in it could be South America, could be Africa, could be Europe, could be parts of Asia. Operation Christmas Child, run by Billy Graham, sends out these really cool Christmas boxes that have a lot of little toys and whatnot in them, and then sends them off to underdeveloped countries and people areas and people groups that just, sharing the love of Jesus, sharing the good news of Jesus Christ, but also giving them a practical and physical gift of enjoyment and joy, like toys, Matchbox cars, socks, rags, soap, whatever a little girl or little boy would need in those types of circumstances. So it's really cool. I really enjoy Operation Christmas Child. If you are in any way attached to Southern Baptist churches or whatever, you've probably seen those green and red boxes, and they're a really cool ministry. However, I've always wanted to do the boxing of them, or at least see where it goes after I hand it back to my church, right? Because I go to Mount Vernon Baptist Church, Knuckles Road, Shore Pump, Virginia, and I get those boxes, and they're completely empty, and it's my time, it's my job to fill them up and then give them back to my church. So I go to the Dollar Tree or Walmart or whatever, and this is what everybody does, but this is from my own experience, and then I give it back to the church, and then I don't ever see the box ever again. I have no idea who that box is going to. I have no idea what's going to happen to that box. There's usually like little stickers of like how you want to like set up your box, whether you want to do a boy or a girl, and then what age group of that boy or girl. I usually always choose a boy because I know how to shop for a little boy. I usually do like 5 to 9 or 10 to 14 ages. That's normally what I go for, and that's what I pack for. That's what I give to the church, so that they can send it off to Operation Christmas Child, so that they can send it off to the Operation Christmas Child warehouses down in North Carolina. I think there's one in Baltimore, and there's numerous ones across the nation. But however, this past weekend, we were able to go down to the Charlotte warehouse, and we were volunteers. We didn't get paid. And if it was Friday and Saturday that we packed the boxes. It was a very intuitive, creative, interesting process that they all have going on while packing these boxes. So it was really interesting, and hopefully you can kind of see what all went on at the warehouse. This is not really a much scripted video because I didn't really want to make it super scripted of like, this is what happened, this is what we did. I just want to give you my overall thoughts about like the whole experience and ideas. So each person, I don't really have to explain every single last detail, but it's fun too. So each person is assigned to a job, and there's about 8 to 10 people at per table, and there's about 50 or 60 tables, so you can only imagine like how many people are there, and also staff and different line workers and whatnot. Most of these people in these warehouses are volunteers, and we go to these big warehouses and we pack boxes. There's different like roles or whatever. You have a role of taking the box out and checking if there's any checks or money, either donations to Operation Christmas Child or money that they're trying to sneak into children. That's probably like a very low amount of people that are actually trying to do that, but that's what that job is for. And then the next job is to like fill the boxes, to check that there's no inappropriate items, and if so, take that out and then fill it back with another toy or gift or article of clothing or whatnot. And then it gets sent to a person to tape up the box, and then given to what I did as my role is get a scanner. And it's kind of like when I work at Dick's Sporting Goods, it was like every other retail store where you scan a barcode and then you put it in a box. So you scan the barcode on the box, and you scan the barcode in the bigger box, the bigger brown box. So you can fit about 15 to 16 boxes in that big box. I wish there was different words for boxes, but there was the red and green ones, and then the brown ones, the bigger brown ones. So you put those boxes in there, and then you can track it. Well, at least people that paid for the barcode, paid for the tracking. That's how you can track where the Operation Christmas Child boxes are going. It was really interesting because every single day, I say every single day, like we weren't like we were there for a week. We're only there for 2 days, but it was a good, long, hard 2 days. It was on your feet like for about like 6 to 8 hours, running around, scanning boxes and whatnot. We had a break of lunch, but it was also fun when we did have breaks that weren't necessarily lunch. Somebody would come up on a stage and say like, hey, I was a recipient of Operation Christmas Child boxes, keep going, like we want to encourage you, God is on your side, and we if you need to take a break or whatever. But also what they would also say is where these boxes were going on that specific day, and I thought that was like the coolest thing. So like I've always wanted to know and always wanted to see where my boxes were going before I handed it back to the church. And now I'm in this intermediate level where I'm packing the boxes, making sure that they get in bigger boxes so they can be sent off to like customs and like in other countries. And hopefully one day I'll be able to be on the very, very end of that, process and of that timeline to actually hand the boxes to the children. I think that'll be so cool. But what the people would do up on stage is tell us, hey, these boxes today are actually being shipped out to Colombia or Honduras or Haiti. And I thought that was like the coolest, or Ecuador. I thought that was the coolest thing, that we're packing these boxes and we're sending them off, and it's just like, whatever, who cares where they're going, as long as they're getting to some kid. But they went up on stage and say, these boxes that you're packing for, these boxes that you're taping up, these boxes that you're putting into more boxes and taping those up and sending them down on assembly line and then shipping them off, those are actually going to Colombia. Those are actually going to Honduras. These are actually going to Haiti. These are actually going to Ecuador. And I thought that was like just the coolest thing. I know, it was weird. It was just the coolest thing to hear that I was actually contributing to somebody else's joy in another country that I'll never meet, but the only thing that's connecting us is this Operation Christmas Child box. So we went up there on Thursday, and then we went up there on Thursday, right? We got there in the evening/night, and then Friday we did for about like 9 to 4, I think it was, maybe 9 to 3. I can't necessarily remember what it was. And then around like 5 o'clock on Friday night, we went to the Billy Graham Museum, which was also in Charlotte, North Carolina, about like 20 minutes outside the city, and about 20 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes away from our hotel, away from the Operation Christmas Child warehouse. And that was really interesting. I think I'm probably like more critical on like museums and whatnot because it kind of is kind of dipping into that, not like amusement park sort of thing, And the reason I say that is because like I've been to numerous amusement parks and I've been to numerous museums where they try to hype it up and try to be more interactive and try to add all this technology and whatnot. And then this is exactly kind of what they're trying to get at here with the Billy Graham Museum, trying to give you the Billy Graham experience, where he would go to numerous cities and towns and in different things, the different people he would meet, and you can see all those pictures and you can see, replicas of his like first big sermon or whatever. And I don't know, I don't think it was like the coolest thing ever. I did think it was cool, but it was a museum, right? Like how fun can you get really with a museum? So that was nonetheless, it was cool. Okay, that's what I'll say. It was cool to go through the Billy Graham Museum. I just don't think I ever need to go back. But I definitely saw some really cool things. I had no idea that Billy Graham spent time with Walt Disney. I had no idea he spent time with like basically every American president that was in office throughout the 1900s. Like I had no idea. I think that was I think that's the coolest thing. And I truly believe that Billy Graham is probably the biggest evangelist since like Paul or something in the Old and New Testament. Billy Graham was a huge, massive Christian TV, radio, news personality And it kind of got me thinking, it kind of got my church thinking, it kind of got my parents thinking, who is the modern day Billy Graham? Is there somebody like this? Is there somebody that's willing to go on Fox News and CNN? Is there somebody willing to talk to whoever and whenever about whatever, go on fishing trips with US presidents, or meeting like the Walt Disney of our era, and just talk to them? I think that's just like a really cool thing. He was definitely ordained by God to do those certain things. And then Saturday, we did it again about 9 to 1 roughly, packing boxes, talking to different people. I met a lot of cool staff members, and they're just very cool, hyped up. But it was fun. It was interesting. It was a lot of fun to just do it, packing boxes and learning different things, learning different skills. They had Chick-fil-A there for sale. I kind of wish we got it for free because we're volunteering our time, and you could at least give us Chick-fil-A for free. But, nonetheless, not everybody's going to eat Chick-fil-A. What I think the coolest thing was, and this is probably I don't think this is my biggest takeaway. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll devolve into something like that. But I thought it was so cool to, I turned to my left, right? And I saw table upon tables upon tables of Amish people doing these boxes, packing these boxes and sending them off. And I don't think I want to teeter on the line of like Amish people and Christians and Christianity and afterlife or whatever, but I do think it's interesting that I saw more Amish people than I did other religions and other ethnicities and other people of different backgrounds and traditions. I thought that was super interesting that like us white Southern Baptist Christians pretty much filled the warehouse. And then you also turn to your left where you see Amish people. Oh, that's interesting. So the joke I wanted to say is somebody must have told them about this going on. And we also use like scanners like on iPhones. I'm like, they don't even believe in these scanners. Like, what is provoking them to do this sort of thing? And the only thing I can say is God. The only thing I can say is their good inherent nature and the Holy Spirit moving them to participate and volunteer their time to do something like that. And I think that's like the coolest thing, that like numerous people groups, numerous people with different backgrounds and traditions and definitely religions are coming together to pack these Christmas boxes to send them off to different countries. I'm almost at 13 minutes just talking about Operation Christmas Child. I'm sorry if this kind of felt rambly or just talking about just random different things and maybe it didn't match up with the video that's on screen. But I really just wanted to tell you guys about my time doing Operation Christmas Child down in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the warehouses, packing boxes. I think it was a really cool, interesting experience, and I really enjoyed my time there. I hope you guys have a whole lot of fun throughout the Christmas season, and I'll see you guys in the next video or podcast episode. See ya.